50 years ago, Godzilla fought his robot nemesis for the very first time. 50 years later, a first-timer and a bunch of Godzilla nerds joined together to talk about 1974's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. This week on Dissect That Film, Godzilla Edition!
Your host, Parker, Dan, and Angela slice and dice their way through the good.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The bad.
You brought the devil!
That's the devil inside everyone.
And the ugly movies you love.
And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it!
Hold your favorite films and franchises tight, because they aren't safe. In fact, it's already too late. It's time to dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dissect That Film, or the Dissect That Film podcast, whatever I want to call it this week. I am one of your hosts, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, are the two other hosts of this show, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
And joining us together for the very first time since episode something back 2.5 years ago when we talked about Anaconda, Sean returned to us from the Amazon to talk about The Mummy Returns, but now we got Joe back from the freaking time warp of that freaking crazy island from Bloody New Year. We got him out. We pulled him out of there.
I'm back. I was in the mountain. You had to bring the little statue out. The little Japanese woman had to sing the song, and it fucking blew open, and here I am.
Right. We somehow are still separated for the video watchers. Joe's in the dungeon. I'm outside the old studio closet. If the old movie dumpster fans know what I'm talking about from the early season.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't recognize these two fine gentlemen, this is we have Joe Lascola and Sean O'Rourke from Movie Dumpster. Guys, we're so happy to have you guys both back together. Because we had Joe on for an episode, we had Sean on for an episode, and so to have you guys back together, it's such a treat, and we're honored to have you back.
Thanks so much for having us back, dude. And I'm sorry it's been so long in between getting together, but it's always a pleasure, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely, we knew we were going to have you guys back, so that's all. As long as that's in my head,
for one of the best movies that you're ever going to have me on for, I think so.
Listen,
Up your alley.
I don't think. Whoever answered, I think it probably was Joe. When I messaged you on Instagram, I've never had a response from any of the Movie Dumpster guys as fast as I did when I put the list out of what we were covering. It was like, bam. I was like, oh. Actually, Dan called it, though. Dan was like, I think Joe's going to pick this.
Well, you had a few. You had a few. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, no, sorry. I was like, I specifically said we had the list, we padded it out, and I had someone else in mind too. And I was like, send it to them first. We're going to give him a week, and then we'll send it to the other guy. So I was like, I got a feeling I know what he's going to pick.
I got fucked because I was going to be on I wanted to be on Hack the Movies when he did his, but I'm so much more glad that I'm here talking to you guys about this one on this show.
Yeah, Tony. We win this time.
He's never coming back.
That was a Kieran episode too, actually.
It is a Kieran episode, yeah.
But yeah, today we're talking about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1974. It's crazy because we're covering, of course, the month of November is all dedicated to Godzilla. We're doing 4 mainline episodes about Godzilla. Our Monster Zone, our Patreon exclusive show, which is going to be free for everybody this month, is a Godzilla episode. And then we're also going to be we're covering the Godzilla 1999 animated series. We're going to be covering that on our Patreon over the course of the next year and a half. So it's all Godzilla in November. But the crazy thing is so last week we talked about Return of Godzilla from 1984 with our good friend Darren Lundberg. Okay. And that was celebrating its 40th anniversary. Today we're talking about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary, Dan.
I'm leaving this fucking show.
You did this.
The problem is which one are we doing next?
It's 60 years.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just not gonna be here. Like, you guys talk about Ghidorah all you fucking want. All right, I'm just gonna leave.
No, you cannot leave. That's mine.
The anniversaries are coming hard and fast. Is what you're saying.
Dan really loves when we talk about anniversaries.
All the fucking time, dude. It doesn't stop. Movies just always have anniversaries.
You know what's funny?
This is special though. This is very special.
That's why we're having a Godzilla month, man.
Yeah.
And we're at that point where a lot of these movies are going to be starting hitting those, going to hit those anniversaries, and even stuff like Nosferatu a couple years ago hit 100, and now like Dracula and Frankenstein are coming up soon. So it's like kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. I guess we could start with Joe. Joe, what is your history with Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla?
He hates it.
This was my entrance to the wonderful world of Godzilla. Okay, I remember vividly watching this in my cousin's room, my cousin Brian, and he had the tape in, the New World tape, and I just was enamored from day one. I mean, I speak about things like Ghostbusters and Monster Squad we just did recently, and how it's just like part of my DNA, and Godzilla is part of my DNA. It's part of who I am. But this was the one. This was the silver tuna that kind of kicked off everything for me, and it's still one of my favorites to this day. I think it's my favorite of the Showa series, with Terror of Mechagodzilla right behind it. And I just love it so much. King Caesar is amazing. Mechagodzilla is my favorite kaiju. He's the end all be all for me. And yeah, it's such a good one for me.
What is? Were you a fan of the Mechagodzilla from the Legendary? No,
I was not. I didn't care for it. I think it was like too complicated. Does that make sense?
Sounds about right.
So is it what was the problem with it for you? Was it like the design of him, or was it just all the dumb human bullshit that they?
Millie Bobby Brown, knew we say more.
I feel like this is a loaded question. So I didn't mind that they did like the thing where we saved Ghidorah's head and now we're putting his life force into a Mechagodzilla and to fight Godzilla. What really pissed me off was that there was no faux Godzilla.
Yep.
That's what I wanted. And it's such an easy thing, and it would have been so much better if we had legendary Godzilla with like, the organic outer skin, and then fighting King Kong, and then King Kong reveals that it's Mechagodzilla, and then real Goji shows up. Now that would have been fucking sick.
That would have been cool.
Well, what they could have done, even with modern technology, I mean, outside just having the fake skin and whatever, is they could have used some kind of projection technology to make him look like Godzilla.
Yeah, they could have did
like
that
some
too.
Optical, I know I'm there with you, and I know they've only really done this one time, and it agitates the shit out of me too. Yeah. But yeah, I agree.
Also, we could have gone without the what is that? Oh, that's Mechagodzilla. How the fuck are you just gonna come up with that name? Like, get the fuck out of here, random New Zealand kid.
Yeah, no.
Deadpool 2. Get out of here.
He got the script. He knew.
God. Yeah.
But we'll get to it, but it's such a good reveal in this film, and it gets me excited every time I watch it. It's just like, this is awesome.
It got me, and we'll talk about it more, but I was sitting there going, there's something wrong here. There's like, something ain't right. Sean, what's your history with this movie?
Well, I thought I definitely had seen it before. I mean, I watched these movies as a kid, usually the dubs that aired on TV, but after just watching it, I don't think I've ever actually seen this fucking movie.
No, wait, let me stop you there. Actually, we did. You and I watched it in Japanese for the very first time ever when it came out on the Media Blasters DVD in North Carolina.
So it's been a while then. Oh my God, over 15 years.
Yeah,
probably.
That was probably the last time. Yeah.
Okay. So then I have seen it, but I don't remember then.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do like the character of Mechagodzilla. I feel like I have that kind of burned more in my brain than the actual movie, like the design of that, especially the one that you guys both have on your respective tables there. See there, Dan's got him. I don't know. I don't have a Godzilla as a whole. I have a history with. Just I like the character, and like I just said, as a kid. I definitely was drawn to it. I always kind of go back to the crab monster. For some reason, that was the one that I think stuck with me as a kid. On a rewatch, I really don't even really like that one that much. It's just kind of
Beer is good.
I like the monster, but the movie's just kind of And a lot of those Showa films kind of end up like that for me. I don't know. I try to turn my brain off and remember when these films are made, and sometimes that works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. Still try to have a good time, but I guess that's basically my history with it.
Angela.
Nah,
No,
you go first.
you need to go first.
No.
This is your pick.
No, you
Yeah, that's why he needs to go last, because I don't have a history with this movie, so I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell you the first time we watched this, but I know we have watched it enough times that we make several quotes from this movie all the time. And every time What's-Her-Face sings her song, he has to, I'm like, shh, so I can sing it with her.
I make comments, but carry on.
I do every time she sings. I sing with her. But yeah, I'll always enjoy it. Love every time we watch it.
So do you know the Japanese, or are you guys just watching the dub at that point?
So
I'm just curious. That either way is impressive, but
the dubbed is probably the best of our comments that we make.
Okay.
Just because the comments get made.
Sure.
I mean, we watched the subbed version this time because you decided to not pull out your DVD.
I'll talk about when it's my turn. Like I'm struggling here. All right, people, I'm really fucking struggling.
Dan is shaking over there.
Okay.
He's actually
okay.
about to convulse.
But yeah, we watch both ways.
Okay, I was just curious because you said you were singing it. I was just trying to picture the have the visual. I was like, oh, is Angela singing Japanese? Does she know it that well, or she just knows the dub?
Impressive. If that's the case, somebody record that.
That's what I'm
Send
saying.
it to me. I want to watch it.
Learning Japanese for
Okay.
almost 312 days now.
That's
according to
awesome.
Duolingo.
It's still Japanese in the dub, though, Sean.
Oh, is it? Okay, I don't know.
But
I've
yes.
never actually seen the dub, or I don't remember ever seeing it. Put it that way.
All right, Dan.
Just a song. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. I need to preface this. People probably know from listening to the podcast. This is not only my favorite Godzilla movie. This is my favorite movie of all time. I've seen this movie far more than I've ever seen any other film ever.
Wow.
Show everybody your tattoo.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It warms. Oh, my God. It warms my heart that somebody loves this movie more than I do.
I wanted to do the I love the Mechagodzilla 2 emblem more, but I wanted to do the Keloid skin, like, coming out from underneath, like in this movie.
It's so cool, man. I love it so much.
I was like, I need a Mechagodzilla tattoo, but I didn't just want Mechagodzilla. So
yeah,
if people know, they fucking know.
That's so cool.
This was the first Godzilla I saw as well, with my cousins, with the new world tape when I was very, very young. I don't remember any other Godzilla movie before this. Like I watched the other ones, but this was like the one, like the earliest one I remember. And like all the way back to like I was watching it the other day, and one random line of dialogue, and my brother's like, "You're watching Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla," and I was like, "Because me and my brother, we do quotes, and I'll talk about them in the fucking movie." And I normally watch the dub because I adore the shitty ass dub in this fucking movie so much. Like I'll watch this stuff, like the Japanese version, every once in a while, and that's what we watch because my PS5 has been a bitch and a half about playing some of my Blu-rays, and I don't know why. So I'm just gonna buy a dedicated Blu-ray player and say fuck it. But anyway, yeah, I've seen this movie like a billion times. Angela and I do quotes with it. If you've listened to the show, I've said random things that are actually quotes from the dub of this movie. This started it all. So this is why, it was between dinosaurs and this movie is why I love this franchise. And this is my favorite show and film. Like I said, it's just any other Godzilla movie. Like this is the one I'd watch over any of them. So that's about it. I'll probably think of something else, but that's about it.
And as I said before, this is my first time watching this movie, and I had to watch it on Max because I wanted to buy it, but it is expensive if you want to find a copy of this damn movie. Every time I would put in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla just on Google just to find a DVD, they would always pop up the second one.
Well, because
they
want you to buy that Criterion collection of all of them, which I guess is actually a good deal. But if you don't want to drop that much at once,
yes.
I get it.
It is.
If I don't think
my wife, we got the tape, we got the DVD, we got the Blu-ray.
If I had a spare copy, I'd send it to you. But When I worked at the movie theater here in town, I bought whenever I get Blu-ray versions. I knew this kid, really nice kid, really into God's like monster stuff or getting into it, and he kind of had some developmental things, and I always gave him my old copies to like help him out. So I don't really have many anymore.
Hopefully one day I'll find it, and hopefully I could get it somewhere. But Max had the sub version, and it looked really good. So
Tubi had it too. I think it might actually be the Criterion transfer because it looks incredible.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. It was the Janus films.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Max has like almost all of the Godzilla movies on there. There's a few that they don't have.
A lot of them are streaming. I know Criterion has all the high side currently, the Criterion channel, like the app.
Yeah. I just don't like the thumbnails. They're like the most generic thumbnails ever. Just like, damn, you couldn't give us anything cool? All right.
Nope.
All right. Well, as for all the people who made this movie and act in this movie, we have...
Try your best, sir.
As I've always stated, this is our first time covering a Godzilla movie. We covered Shin Godzilla a couple years ago. I can't even say American names correctly, so I'm going to try my best to get through this, okay? And I'm probably going to fuck up on the very first name. It's directed by Jun Fukuda?
Mm-hmm.
Did I get it right? Okay. Oh, man. 1 for 1. He directed other Godzilla movies.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of them prior to this, right? Yeah, so Godzilla versus Megalon, which Dan and Angela talked about on our good friend Darren Lundberg's show, Nostalgia Cast, so check that out.
Yep. Get a Megalon headband with his head on it. Fucking sweet, dude.
Jet Jaguar.
Godzilla versus Gigan, 1972. Mm-hmm. Son of Godzilla in 1967. I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling. That's all I see for Godzilla.
He did he also did Abira, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Abira, Horror of the Deep. Yeah, I forgot.
And he did Godzilla vs. Hedorah, man.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I forgot that there's Godzilla movies that don't have Godzilla in the name, so sometimes if I've never seen it, I miss it unless you see the cover and you see Godzilla's on the cover. You're like, oh, okay, that's a Godzilla movie.
It would be Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Is that one?
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah,
I think he did.
Hedorah's the smoke monster, depending on what
the smog monster.
Yeah.
I think he did. I think he directed pretty much all the Godzilla movies post Ishiro Honda.
Mm-hmm.
I think he picked
a
up
lot of them. That's for sure.
Yeah, this was his last Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah, he didn't do 75. Interesting.
Yep. The story was by.
I think Terror Mechagodzilla is Ishiro Honda as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It says for earlier film clips than uncredited.
Yeah, which is something you have to look at when you're going through IMDb because it'll just tell you that they directed it. But then you have to click on it to tell you it's just a clip in the beginning, and you're like, I'm sitting there like mentioning all these movies. And it's like, nope, he only directed 2 out of those 18 you just named. Good job.
Actually,
way to do your research.
He did not do Smog Monster.
He didn't?
No, that was Yoshimitsu Banno.
Oh,
because that's because he did such a hardcore fucking Godzilla movie. told me
that's
right.
Yuki Tanaka is
like, you're not touching the franchise again, motherfucker.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It just hit me too. It's all good, dude.
The story was by Shinichi Sekizawa and Masami Fukushima. It stars. Okay, and again, I don't remember anyone's name in this movie.
Me either.
My notes literally consist of guy, girl, archaeologist, and creepy guy. That's literally what my notes say when it came to characters' names. So I apologize there. But we have Masaki Daemon as Kasuki Shimizu or Shimizu. Who's that? I don't know. You guys will have to tell me.
He's the main archaeologist.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's the main guy.
Kazuya Aoyama as Mazihiko Shimizu. That's the brother, of course. Yeah. I know this guy just because of his last name because this is the same name as didn't we just cover a Godzilla movie?
We did.
I can't remember which one though.
It's
Akihiko Hirata as Professor Hideko. Oh my God. Hideo Miyajima.
You're good.
But that's the same name as the guy in that other Godzilla movie we covered.
Why can't I remember? Return to Godzilla.
Return to Godzilla. Literally the last episode. it was recorded like 3 weeks ago, so my brain can't retain that. Hiroshi Koizuma. Thank you. As Professor Wagura. You can laugh at me. I'm not going to be offended.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing
it's
at you struggling. It's the whole situation.
It's going to be 3 more weeks of this.
We're laughing with you.
We're laughing with you.
Hiromi Matsushita as Ikako Mayujima, which I'm guessing is the daughter who I didn't even know existed. Which I thought she was just was like a maid or something. And then she showed up later and got kidnapped by the aliens.
Oh yeah, right. Oh my, I actually forgot about that.
Goro Mutsumi as Kuronuma, who's the black hole alien leader. This guy
badass, dude.
The best guy in this movie, dude.
Yeah. The Simeons.
Shin Kishida as Nambara. That's creepy guy, right?
Yeah, Nambara's he's dope as fuck.
Another guy who's just like, what the hell is this guy doing? Takayusha Tori as Tamura. I guess is another Interpol agent. I didn't know there was 2.
Yeah, it's at the very end.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that.
Barubara Lin as Princess Nami. And Mazu Imafuko as the High Priest. Dago Kusano as Yanagawa, who is just an alien agent.
He's the dude that breaks in. He's like, boom,
There's
I want the statue.
Actually, I'll wait till we get to this guy.
Edge of the ship.
Oh, Mustache Man, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I love that fight scene.
Kenji Sahara as ship captain.
And we've talked about him before.
We did?
Yeah, he was in Rodan. He was the main character in the original Rodan.
Ah.
Okay.
And many other kaiju.
I'm glad you remember that.
Same with Mr. Koizuma. He'll actually be in Ghidorah later. And I think Sahara's in Ghidorah as well.
Iso Zushi is the suit actor for Godzilla. Kazunari Mori is the suit actor for Mechagodzilla, and Kenichi Kusumi is both Anguirus and King Caesar.
Huh. Nagajima's not in this?
No, 72 is his last film.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's an interesting transition because that was one of Satsuma's last films before he, as Godzilla until he picked it back up later.
Yeah.
Proverbial.
Well, I know he was Hedorah too, and Gigan.
Yeah, and I think he was a Gigan in all the supplemental stuff like Zone Fighter. I think.
Yeah.
The music was done by Masuru Sato. He also did. I just saw another Godzilla. Oh, Son of Godzilla.
Yep.
I don't. That's one that I'm not looking forward to watching.
What, Son of Godzilla?
Yeah, I've heard.
Dude, that movie rocks so fucking hard, dude. Are you kidding me? Dude, it's like a capital child abuse. Are you fucking kidding me?
Vanilla, dude. I hate the way that Godzilla looks in that film, but I like that film.
I love it.
Kamunga and Kamakuris are great.
Yeah, they're dope as fuck, dude.
He also did the music for Godzilla Raids Again.
No,
which is the American version of the original Godzilla.
Yeah. Sorry. Godzilla Raids Again. No,
the second one.
Raids Against the sequel.
Oh, that's the sequel?
First introduction of Anguirus, yeah.
That one I don't mind.
Right. Okay, so what is the American version of the original Godzilla called?
King of the Monsters.
Godzilla
it's just called King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm trying, guys.
It's from stock music. You know why? It's because in that fucking movie, no, I'm gonna say it. In that fucking movie, they have the fucking gonads to use Mechagodzilla's theme in that. Fucking Final Wars, dude. I swear.
Oh, damn.
Final Wars is pretty good.
Dude, we might be covering that one.
I am such a fickle bitch about that movie. And every time we used to watch it, and nothing like most people that are I don't know, maybe not me, and like Godzilla, just really love that movie. And I'm just like, this fucking movie, dude.
I mean, spoilers.
Mustache.
I prefer the kaiju fights than most of the other shit usually happening, so that's maybe why I like that one. But yeah, the effects look pretty bad on a rewatch.
I don't mind fun watching when we were kids in high school.
I don't mind it as much. It was just we'll talk about. I'm guaranteed that movie's the one we fucking talk about.
Oh yeah,
and I'm wearing my Godzilla '98 shirt on that episode.
It's when
'98 gets fucking smoked in that movie.
Yeah,
I always show my love for Zilla.
My biggest problem was listen, dude, we're gonna bring back King Caesar and he's gonna play soccer. I was like, I'm fucking out.
I get it.
Go ahead.
I get it.
Go ahead.
So this was released March 21st, 1974, at a budget of $1.2 million, made $20 million. So
Wow.
did pretty well. This had many names. In the States, it started off as Godzilla versus the Bionic Monster, and Universal went, no, we're suing you. You can't do that.
That name's horrible.
It was literally because of the $6 million Man and Bionic Woman. They were like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, but it's not the same at all. And then it was also titled Godzilla versus the Cosmic Monster.
Can I throw a random tidbit out about that movie, or like the Cosmic Monster release?
Yeah,
I thought
no, this is just a personal, like, anecdotal thing. When I was a kid, I never owned Mechagodzilla on VHS. My uncle always had it, so I just watched it there. But I bought it, and I bought a copy of the Cosmic Monster at a Alco, for those of you that are familiar with that store from the Midwest. And I brought it home, put the VHS in. Movie played fine, but there was no audio. It's like, what the fuck is this? And I think my mom still has that VHS with no audio.
Bad rip.
Kara, that must have been.
Give it to you.
Also, when we go through the plot of this movie, we're also going to try. I think the biggest question that we're going to try to answer today is: should this movie be part of the Planet of the Apes franchise?
I was literally thinking that while I was watching it. He's fucking just took these massive painted green paint on him and called it a day.
Yeah.
And also, I have a few comments that my wife made while we were watching this movie.
I cannot wait.
Also,
hopped
Caesar. I mean,
she hopped
that's
in
kinda
about halfway
retroactive.
through,
I mean,
and
I guess there
was,
was Caesar in that original series, but I think of Caesar, Andy Serkis.
No, there you go. Dude, if they bring King Caesar in, can we have Andy Serkis do the mocap? Like
Yeah,
in the,
right.
in the legendary Godzilla.
Yeah, go full circle.
And he says, no.
Yes.
That's how he stops one of the monsters from attacking.
Yeah.
No.
Right, yeah.
Oh man. So I guess this was the first Godzilla movie that actually put the suit actors, like credited the suit actors in the final
Small
credits. Which is weird.
Interesting.
How 20 years of Godzilla movies, they were just like, yeah, fuck them guys. Fuck them guys that bust their ass in them suits.
Almost
surprised.
die in them
Well,
suits.
Japan has a lot of like weird practices like that, because I know even like with video games for the longest time, like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, if you look at like the credits on a lot of those games, almost all the artists have like nicknames and shit because they didn't want people to like poach talent. So I wonder if that's why they didn't want people to steal their monster actors. Seriously, maybe that's why.
Could be.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, somebody literally stole Satsuma and put him in the Pulgasari suit.
Oh,
Hey, come visit North Korea.
That
Oh, well, you
poor-
can't leave now.
poor bastard, man.
It's like, hey, come to North Korea. I'm good. No, you're coming to North Korea. I didn't ask. Like, but you just did.
Yeah.
Right.
Get in the suit. So the director of special effects on this, Tsuruyoshi Nakano, he was looking at American monster movies and seeing like how boisterous and colorful they were, and that was kind of the inspiration of why this movie is so colorful. Because a lot of Godzilla movies, I guess before that, weren't. Especially with like the rainbow beams and like the explosions and just kind of making things a lot brighter. It worked.
Maybe toned down. Like the older ones were a little more toned down. I mean, it's definitely say it's a bit more bombastic. Some of the earlier entries for sure.
As this is my first. This is the era that I would always look at like clips of Godzilla and be like, this is goofy Godzilla. This is like, he looks goofy, and not like in a bad way. Like I still like the design of this Godzilla, but this is where like he's very articulate. Like he's not stiff walking through like with the original and even some of the sequels after. Like this one, he's like sprinting, he's like pumping his arms. He's like, able to like do certain things that we had not seen before. And then his eyes, of course, his eyes always give me, man. Like those eyes are just everywhere.
74 is one of my favorite designs of Godzilla.
It's a good design.
I'm not saying it's bad. He's just, I always put him in like that category of like, this is the goofy Godzilla. This is when he starts doing some really goofy things. He slid on his tail a couple years before, right? That was the movie he was sliding on his tail.
It was right the year before.
Yeah. So
There's a
he got over that shit.
But the thing for me was always the eyes. You're always looking at him like, where is he looking? Like, those eyes are everywhere. They're trying to make him look angry, but he just looks a little. He looks a little.
I don't know why they changed it from like Godzilla vs. Mothra, because that was also a great look. That's one of my favorite suits too.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
Yeah, and this was
with like the plated eyebrows.
Yeah, they were like,
yeah.
Godzilla. Why you look so mad?
Godzilla with terrible language.
I hate Big Egg.
I'm allergic to poultry. Starts kicking it.
The German version of this movie was called Godzilla vs. King Kong because that was what Mechagodzilla was called, and it was pretty much to kind of get the audience, like King Kong fan audience, like to come over and watch this Godzilla movie, and then you imagine just sitting down like, King Kong's in this, guys. Where's King Kong?
When was King Kong Escapes? What year was that?
That was 67.
That was 67. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget the German versions had a knack for naming their Godzilla movies that have something to do with Frankenstein.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. I have a Son of Godzilla one that says that.
Yes, and actually from what I've heard, look into this please. In the Megalon, in the German dub, Jet Jaguar was called King Kong in a robot suit. Yeah. Shit you not. We just can't give us Mechanic-Kong, but by God,
yeah, it's King Kong.
And with the flood beams.
In France, this movie didn't come out till 1977. So it came out after its sequel, Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Oh, no.
So people were watching this going, huh? This is a sequel? All right. I love that, man. That's not the first time we've talked about a movie like coming out like 4 or 5 years after the sequel to it. And the audience just being very confused. Wait, how is he still alive? I don't know. But yeah, as I stated before, this was the last Godzilla movie directed by Jun Fukuda. And this was also the final Godzilla movie to feature a score by Masura Sato.
It's good shit.
Yeah, let's just hop into this thing. Let's do this.
Just dive in.
Are you in search of a refined and elevated podcast?
One where you can sit back with a cup of tea and indulge in the finest film cinema has to offer?
One where precision and polish comes before anything else?
Well, you've come to the wrong place.
We are Cinema Slab,
a podcast where we let our nerd flags fly and review our favorite movies and shows, new and old.
We're all besties.
And one brother and sister.
And we love discussing movies with each other. Whether it's a record-breaking television show that has us glued to our TVs every week.
We're like private investigators, except for no one hired us or asked for our help.
An ooey-gooey practical effects-filled horror movie.
Or a cult classic masterpiece.
You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize.
We're sure there's something for you on Cinema Slab.
I'm your Scream Queen, Anna.
Yeah, you're gonna love this one. It's a scream, baby.
I'm your Gorgal, Hannah.
I kick ass for the Lord.
And I'm your favorite little brother, Hunter.
I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this couch.
And join us each week on Cinema Slab
as we bond together over our love of cinema.
And all things media and entertainment related.
It is time to dissect
that
film. The movie starts with a really cool.
No, we get the different opening now. Anyway, no, we get the different opening on this.
Yeah.
You don't hear the original score. Like you don't hear that original.
Oh, yeah, we get between Gigan and this one are like one of my favorite because it just hits. It's like doom 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 doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's it's awesome.
That's the one.
Yeah. It was definitely. I was just sitting there going, I'm always expecting the original theme to play in every Godzilla movie, and then I don't hear it, and I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Dude,
sounds like a fucking party's about to happen. It's like the beginning of Temple of Doom. Like, what's happening right now?
Or the beginning of Gigan, where it starts with the Godzilla theme and it just goes like this wacky rendition of it. It's fucking awesome, dude.
It's so good.
Add more horns.
This one just wants drums. Like, bring forth the drums.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Godzilla vs. Anguirus. That fucking song is so good. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's like when you go from like Danny Elfman's score for Batman and Batman Returns, and then I can't remember who the composer was for Forever. You guys would know. You guys have covered 75.
I can't remember.
But is it Goldberg or something like that? I can't remember. But then you
wrestler?
have the score for
It was Seal, of course.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Gonna be talking about that freaking movie. But then you get that score for Forever where it's just drums and horns and they're blaring in your face and you're like, this is far from Danny Elfman. Jesus. And it's just colors, whereas like Tim Burton was like dark and droll, and this is like bright colors everywhere, neon. Val Kilmer's there.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love Forever. And Garrus, he wakes up and he's like, yo, Godzilla!
Something's fucked, bro.
Yeah. And then just I love how Godzilla wakes up. He's not just subtle. He doesn't just like come out of the ground. He's like, I'm gonna cause some explosions. Like,
he is fucking shit up.
But then you hear his roar and it goes right into the title card.
Oh yeah.
And it's epic too. They like throw it right in your face, and you get the little English title card in the bottom. Tell you actually what it says.
Ruin any suspense whatsoever.
I didn't know Godzilla was going to be in this.
It's Mechagodzilla.
Sound like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Well, that too. I meant the title card, but you're right. The second he starts roaring, you're like, all right, I know what's happening.
Yep.
This is weird. They changed his roar. It's the 20th anniversary. We got to mix things up.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, isn't that? I guess we'll get to it. So we have this woman who I just thought was just a performer. I didn't realize she was like some like priestess for this tribe. I just thought she was like a performer because there's just a bunch of like tourists there just taking pictures and stuff. And she's singing a song.
Make a buck, dude.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm not judging. I just didn't know what she was.
They're selling King Caesar replica statues in the gift shop.
They got plushies.
Yes.
We got this for you.
You got the special show when it's dark. It's Nami After Dark. And she takes the rope.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I'm there for it.
The statue that they show throughout the movie is like it's based on a real like statue. That's an Okinawan god or whatever, and that's where they based King Caesar from.
Yeah, they're lion dogs.
Yeah, I like it.
They're dope.
But yeah, she's performing, and then she starts having a static picture flashbacks, and King Ghidorah's in one of them, and I'm like, okay, I don't think it's in this movie.
Yeah, that was confusing. I don't understand that part at all. It's like, all right, I guess he was around at some point.
All the shots are just stills from Ghidorah. She's like, she probably just watched it, and she just like goes having, oh shit, or maybe she was there.
Bad's coming, right?
Yeah,
yeah. It's like Videodrome. She fell asleep watching it, and now she's like part of it.
Two monsters will come together and destroy each other or something, and then two monsters will team up.
Yeah.
And kick its ass.
But in none of those still shows Godzilla at all. It's just King Ghidorah, and you're like, well, all right.
Well, they could have just as easily brought him back. I mean, King Ghidorah's been back like 80 times at this point, so.
Could have been in like a fake out, too. Like, oh, shit.
That's what I assumed it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the fact that they told us Mechagodzilla was in this, so. About 2 minutes before.
Right, exactly. Save that for the end.
That's a problem when you put the name of your villain in your title of the movie. You know who's in the movie.
I don't know what it is with like Japanese, at least my experience with anime, but they like to fucking spoil the plot of the episode in the name of the episode.
Yeah, that's you're right, Dad. That is a Japanese thing. They almost want to know ahead of time so that they're not wasting their time. There is some kind of cultural reasoning behind that. Yeah, chapters of titles, chapters of episodes, movies in this case. It's a cultural difference. I feel like Americans definitely don't like that shit as much. I mean, we'll look it up online. We just don't want to throw it in our faces.
Like our youngest boy and I've been watching through Dragon Ball Z. And I'm like, we're in Namek Saga. So it's like, Goku fights, Ginyu changes body. I was like, oh shit, he's going to know this twist. I don't know what to do.
You guys are blowing it, man. You got to know it by now, especially toy animation. Anything with toy animation, they spoil the shit out of it in the title. Just skip the title. Don't read the title. One Piece, same thing. Don't read the title. Just skip that part.
Yeah, that would be Pokemon used to do the same thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They would play like 10 minutes of the episode, then they would give you the title, and you're like, oh, what the hell is this?
Right. The longest
I know
cold
what
open.
Pokemon we're gonna see today.
Enter Raichu.
Yeah. Whatever it is. No, it's who's that Pokemon? And then it would
mysterious dragon Pokemon that's probably called Dragonite.
It's a mysterious Pokemon that's a dragon. Well, in the first generation, we had 3 to pick from.
Hey, man,
It's the same
episode though.
I was so happy
With
when I
the
got
lighthouse?
my Pokemon 2000 Dragonite when I went to go see the movie. Okay, I still have that card. And my ancient Mew from the original Pokemon movie. I still have
there
it.
you go.
I seriously do. Dude goes to a cave and finds a fancy piece of metal. And then
Space
we go...
titanium.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that yet. It's just kind of... It's okay.
It's iridescent paint chips.
It's okay.
But
We
it makes
talked
a
about...
sweet pipe out of it.
It's okay. We were talking about Night of the Creeps, and I literally said JC died like 5 minutes into the episode. Whoops.
That's way bigger than what I just did.
Justice for JC. So yeah, diggers, they find an unknown cave. And I love how like the press just shows up in droves. Like, where'd they come from? They just came out of the ground? Like, pictures, gotta get it. Like, it's a dig site. Like, are there always reporters at this dig site? There was no
National
one there
Geographic would not be this excited, I promise you.
This is what happens when there's no giant monsters destroying the city.
Yeah,
and they're and everything's dried up. You know, and all the stories are dried up, and they're like, "Oh my god, they found some weird metal in a cave
with a box of scraps."
Yes, these
God.
aliens made this in a cave with a box of scraps.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Oh man! So they find out is an ancient Okinawan temple. Reporters swarm. They find a prophecy on the wall that has to do with King Caesar. How do you say his name?
Caesar.
It's Caesar? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep saying Caesar, but it is Caesar.
It is spelled out that way on a lot of things. It's literally Caesar. So that's how I was saying it.
It's King Caesar, but the way they say it in the movie is Caesar.
Yeah.
When
And
she
even
sings the
some
song.
Salad dressing.
No, when
the
she sings
subtitles
the
also
song,
don't
she
say
says
Caesar.
seesaw.
Yeah.
She says
Hey.
seesaw.
That's why.
It's not seesaw.
Can I just say
That's
something
how
real
she
quick?
says it.
Yeah,
please.
There is a car dealership, like an independent car dealership down the street from me called Kim Caesar. And every time I drive by, I go, Kim Caesar? like when the chick in the movie is like King Caesar?
Yeah.
It's one of those stupid things.
Yeah, no, I get. Oh, I get it. Many quotes will be said throughout this. Believe me.
This woman shows up. The guy thinks she's just another reporter, but she actually says she's an archaeologist. So she goes in there and tells him the whole story about King Caesar. Then we get oh my God, these guys are hilarious. And then we find out one of them is not as bad as you think, but he was just creepy, dude. There's like 2 sketchy guys, like legit stalking this girl at the university she works at. One of them always is wearing sunglasses, no matter where he is. So just so he could pull him down to look even more suspicious.
Like a badass.
One
dude.
guy, the first guy, the mustache guy, he just like peeks in and then he's always doing this. He's like always looking over his shoulder, like he is paranoid. The other dude's just like not giving a shit. He's just like wandering down the hall with his big black trench coat. What's going on there, bud? He doesn't care. He peeks in too, and then he's like, "All right, see you later." and they also had to show you his black shiny ring. This is where he.
That sounds like a plane.
Yeah, his onyx pinky ring. That's important for later.
Yeah.
It does have plot relevance. He's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
smoking his cigarettes. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the archaeologist is on the plane, and then one of the guys, one of our main characters, I don't know these people's names.
It's Keisuke. It's the main archaeologist.
Okay. Well, they see each other on the plane. She shows him the statue of King Caesar, and then that's when creepy dude, he's like sitting in a row in front of him, and he's just like, "I'm a freelance reporter. You should give me the scoop on this," and then has the most evil laugh after he says it. He's like,
dude, you should hear it in the dub, dude. It's so good. He's like, "I'm a freelance reporter, but some call me a scandal hunter."
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
But I love
dope.
I love her face where she's looking up. She's like, "Yeah, we're good, thanks."
Starts pushing the buttons. We need another seat, please.
Yeah, right.
So you find out that the prophecy is coming true because they look out the window and they see this black cloud kind
that
of
cloud looks just like a black mountain.
Yeah.
From my dream.
Yes.
This is when they get like some the flashbacks in this movie are just odd. Okay, we get the one with King Ghidorah in the beginning, and then we get one where it's just a gridded picture. It's the same picture, but it's like 12 times. It's like a gridded,
yeah, that was
like flashback.
weird.
I'm like, what? Okay,
they wanted to try something in the editing. I know that was odd. Yeah, I forgot
this will
about
look cool, guys. Do it. Press multiply.
We have the technology. Use it.
Copy paste.
We meet Dr. Wakura, and you find out that he is the lead archaeologist's uncle. He like plays the girl. He's like, yeah, sure. Like wanders up. You find out, and then she gets offended by that. She's like, you could have told me he was your uncle. I'm like, why does everyone get
It was a joke.
easily offended by the dumb? But it's so funny because like, why are you offended by this? This is stupid. Just stop. Just go up there and do your thing.
Why didn't you tell me he was your uncle?
He paid for your taxi fare. Why would you complain?
Are you in some sort of relationship that I didn't know about? Because these movies sometimes do that, where they put people in relationships, don't tell anyone, and then you're just sitting there going, why?
Surprisingly, this movie doesn't do that.
Maybe that's more American monster movies that just put you in the most ridiculous relationships ever.
They do it in these too.
Hey, there's a giant monster destroying the world. You want to go on a date sometime?
Yeah, we should go on and eat.
Hey, I should pin you up against this table real quick.
Uncomfortably.
Like, whoa, back up. So yeah, they got the metal piece that was found in that cave is being studied at Dr. Miyajima's. This is where you find out. This is where you find out it's titanium, right? It's like a space titanium.
Space titanium.
Yeah, he says that. I'm just like, how do you know this?
Space titanium.
I get you would like figure it out it's titanium, but like, how do you know it's space titanium?
It's like no metal I've ever seen. Space titanium.
Right,
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
It's like, hey, shouldn't we look? Did you look under the microscope? Did you do anything extra? No, I just looked. I've never seen it before.
I think I'll make a pipe out of it.
No idea what it is.
Also, that little piece made that whole end of that pipe.
No.
That pipe was thick as shit.
This dude is getting some kind of weird lung cancer from this stuff smoking out of that.
He has to, because it's a fake metal when he talks about it.
Yeah.
It's not the space titanium. It's like he calls it like a Senecron or something like that. It's an entirely different. It's like magic metal.
This thing is a fucking MacGuffin if I ever seen one. Like the odds of this being relevant to anything are like so like 1 in a billion, and it's like the most important item in this fucking movie.
An earthquake happens at the lab.
Normal.
Yep, they're just like,
Monsters. We expect it.
It's either monsters or it's just Japan.
Right. Yeah. Tectonic plates, possibly. Right.
Yeah.
We also get a radio. Like, there's a guy talking on a radio, and he mentioned something about monsters being buried, and that's like one of those moments where like the character's not paying attention. He just turns the radio off, but if you're paying attention, you can hear it. And this is when the mustache dude breaks in and try to steal the statue, and we get our first of 2 fights between these 2 characters. And it is hilarious. The uncle, absolutely useless. He watches this fight the whole time. Literally, the gun slides right in front of him, and he just stands there, stares at the gun. Pick up the fucking gun.
This is a knockdown drag out for the fucking ages, dude. I love when he like balls up his fist and he like hits him in the face, and he's like, it's just so good. There's so many great.
Puts the pillow over him, tries to smother him.
Pillow, like eat the fucking pillow when he punches him.
The thing that got me was he literally punches him in both ears and then punches him in the forehead. I was like, what the frick is going on?
So good.
It's space martial arts, just like the space titanium.
In a Godzilla movie.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Dude, this is...
Well, I think right about now it's like that James Bond influence is like leaking in, or like the end of it.
Dude, that's
exactly like spy movies stuff.
That's why 95% of the human plot happens is because of James fucking Bond. Thunderdome exists, or Thunder. Was it Thunderdome? Whichever one he goes to space with Jaws and all that shit.
Moonraker.
Yeah. I would say Thunderdome is Mad Max.
Was it Thunderball maybe then?
Thunderball, yeah. You're right. I don't know. I'm not well versed in James Bond. Creepy dude shows up again after everything's done. He's like walking down this dark street and just like stands behind freaking light
Smoking his
post, like
cigarette.
smoking a cigarette. He's got his sunglasses on. Why do you have your sunglasses on, sir?
I feel like this is
It's
like
dark.
an opening. This is an opening or like an advertisement for like a different movie. Like he's just standing there with his sunglasses, and it freezes. It's like Nunbara, Pussy Hunter.
I keep waiting for him to pull like a shotgun out.
I am a red herring. How are you?
Exactly. Like I'm waiting for him to pull a shotgun out or something like a John Woo movie because he's got that trench coat on. It's not that kind of movie, but I keep thinking it. You know?
Yeah.
So we get more explosions on this mountain, and then this big giant dark blob just shoots out of this mountain and lands and gets up, and it's Godzilla. At least we think it is. I didn't realize this wasn't Godzilla. Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it now. This isn't really
Shame on
Godzilla.
you. Not a real fan.
Not a fan of this?
You couldn't tell by the voice instantly?
No. I didn't because I wasn't. Listen, this is my first time watching this movie, and I didn't. I knew that they had changed Godzilla's roar over the years, so I was like, maybe this is the new roar. Like, I don't know.
Okay,
It's still a screonk.
But as it came,
it sounds nothing like it.
As it progressed,
No. The real Godzilla, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I figured it out though before real G shows up.
Okay.
Like I was like, okay. I mean, of course, it's because we get the whole thing where he gets nicked and it shows the metal under him, and you're like,
because he's beating the fucking brakes off Anguirus and like ripping his fucking jaw off.
Dude.
So when we first watched this, when he roared the first time, because I had watched so many Godzilla movies with him, I was like, that don't sound right.
What's wrong with him?
It's the dead giveaway.
That's not him. That's somebody else. And then when he got nicked, I was like, see, I told you. And he's over there like watching me, smiling.
It's a prosthetic arm.
I mean, I'm busting balls, but to your point, Brett, I mean, like, maybe that was what they were going for. Maybe, like, they would do for the diehards in there. There were people in the theater were like, "Ooh, I know it's not him,"
shit.
and the new fans were like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, it's Godzilla." Like, maybe that's what they actually. Maybe they accomplished their goal. Then, seriously,
I legit just thought it was a new roar. I did not realize until he got into the fight with Anguirus and he got the piece of his skin taken off, and there was the shiny bit, and I was like, that makes sense now.
Now, did you know
that's
that
why
him
he
and,
doesn't sound right?
Him and Anguirus are, I guess, now buddies. I guess they do say that flat out.
They did.
but-
They had like a didn't they have like a best friend handshake at the end of Godzilla Raids Again or something like that, and they're like best friends now.
One of them
Raids again, and Anguirus died.
Yeah.
So,
He definitely
this is
killed him
awesome.
in
So
that
he was
one.
just grabbing his dead arm and just doing like, we're best friends now, buddy.
Good fight, bro. Good fight.
They were
Monday.
teaming up for Destroy All Monsters. They were hanging out on Monster Island together, you know.
That's what it was, though. Right.
Then they were there for Godzilla versus Gigan, so that's when they kind of like formed with the buddy cop thing.
But I'm saying, I bring that up specifically because it's like if you're a casual fan, maybe you might not notice the Shriyank changing, but like you might know that him and Anguirus are kind of on the same team. So then when he's literally beating him to a bloody pulp, you're like, ooh, that doesn't make sense. Ooh, that looks a little too much.
And Anguirus is like, "Why are you doing this to me?
Why, Daddy?
We were going to get a beer."
That poor dude, man. He got his ass whooped, dude. And the fact is, this movie is rated G, and I was like watching certain scenes going, what?
Dude, and like, I love how this whole scene's juxtaposed to this man driving this Nissan. Just like, Anguirus shouldn't attack his friend Godzilla.
Why are they fighting? You're friends.
Oh yeah, you do get basically the audience being told what what is happening on screen in case you are confused. You're right. I forgot they do that.
It is funny when the one guy, once, fake Godzilla shows up, the one guy's like, I gotta go, bye. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go drive into his leg. Yeah. This is when we're back with the priest who calls upon King Caesar, and he literally is like, go destroy Godzilla. Like, we need you to destroy Godzilla.
Fuck mainland Japan and fuck Godzilla. Go get him.
Yeah, so I guess this movie got criticized for not having like any substance to the story that it was trying to tell, but I guess in reality, this makes a lot of sense because Japan and Okinawa were kind of at odds with each other because of the fact that we dropped 2 nukes on Japan, and then we were setting up American bases on Okinawa, and the rest of Japan was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I think it goes back further than that, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, like, King Caesar is, like, their protector, you know?
Yeah.
And I think there was, like, some, like, brutal, like, prior to World War II incidents of, like, Japan trying to invade Okinawa and stuff like that, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think it also
There was
goes
some
back to
ruthless
that
shit going on.
That sounds like something that did happen, unfortunately.
Not surprised. Not surprised. Everybody's got dark history.
Yep, everybody.
At least they're trying to make up for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is when fake Godzilla punches a building, just fucking walks by this thing and just shoves his fist straight through the middle of this building. I was like, wow, this is awesome. He just completely annihilates that building just for no reason.
Just random hotel in the middle of nowhere. So
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to get that.
You got a couple in there who's just like, finally can take a vacation.
His cheating wife was in there with somebody else. So he
Deborah,
destroyed
you
it.
bitch!
Manila was in there. That was his punishment.
Yes.
He's been bad. It's a building dropped on him.
No more child support.
Oh, man. And then, Godzilla just fights Anguirus. Anguirus just, he gets absolutely fucked up in this. He literally, like, Godzilla just runs up to him and just kicks him like a soccer ball across the freaking screen. And then he, like,
apart.
Yeah, and just blood just spewing out of his mouth. And then he's like, I'm going to go back into my hole. Like, this is awful. This sucks.
In Godzilla's defense, Anguirus was choking on food, and he was trying to save his life. He just
So he's
a
trying
little
to pull
overdid
a King
it.
Kong move on that dinosaur.
Stick his hand down there, yeah.
Yeah,
That food.
pretty much.
It's like when you try to get a toy or you try to get something out of a dog's mouth. You're just like,
Or your kid's mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Get that Lego
yeah.
out of there. Get your Lego.
Don't put that in your mouth.
What kids are you talking about?
Dude, this
I like the
guy.
modified-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, after he fucks up Anguirus' jaw, I like the modified roar they gave Anguirus because his jaw was fucked up.
Because he's all screwed up. Yeah. He's crying the whole time. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
as Joe is saying, he is going, why? I thought we were
he got
friends.
his ass whooped.
Why are you doing this to me? The road's blocked, and I love how the dude gets out to try to move a full ass tree out of the road. He's literally like, and then he doesn't just try once. He spits in his hand, rubs them together, and tries to do it again. Yeah, it didn't work out. He finds more space metal, but it's like a giant brick of it this time. And he brings it back, and the doctor's like, good, I can make 14 more pipes with this.
Yes, I'm going to sell these on Etsy.
Yes. Do you think they just took a brick and just polished the shit out of it?
Probably. But also, like, wouldn't you think this is some sort of, like, indestructible metal?
I mean, it is space by space
Okay, so how the hell did he shape it?
Oh, right. I was going to say that exactly.
I don't know. Maybe he just like, I don't know. You got me.
I mean, they have to shape it to make the plates on the Mechagodzilla, so
They make a bigger.
he doesn't have plates so on this one. No, I'm thinking of the stupid legendary one.
They make a bigger point about it being
all metal.
Yeah.
They make a bigger point about it being magnetic or has something to do with like the polarity of electronics. I don't fully actually understand it, but part of the reason is like the way that it connects to each other, the two parts of the pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can put them together, and if you put it between two things, we'll learn it will ruin a radio frequency or like electrical frequency.
That's a powerful pipe.
So, I mean, that's way better than just pouring a cup of whiskey into a computer to then fuck up Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What?
Could you imagine if Godzilla walked up to Mechagodzilla, opened his thing and said cheating bitch and just like poured in a fucking gallon of sake or something?
This is why you never saw Mechagodzilla in water. He just goes near and just push.
It's voiced by Kurt Russell. So, yeah, Godzilla's...
Checkmate.
Godzilla's causing mass destruction, and it's one of those things where people are just kind of confused by what's going on. Like, he doesn't do this. This isn't. This
he does this all the time.
Well, he
does.
They're standing by at night, and Godzilla's just destroying everything. There's like fucking explosions up there. They're like, "Why is he doing this? I guess we'll just stand here and watch him destroy everything."
Also, where was
use your pipe, Professor? Have that shit work do something for you.
Also, like,
if you got him,
there's like 100. There's like 100 explosions going off like around Godzilla. I was like, holy shit! How did they shoot this without getting this thing lit on fire?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
The scene is so good.
The explosions in this movie are insane. There's so many. It's wild. One scene alone has 1 million. I counted.
Oh yeah.
So where was Godzilla hiding? The real Godzilla. He's just in the middle of this building. He just pops up. He's like, "What's up, motherfucker?" I'm like,
he's just
where were you?
Taking a nap, dude.
He's doing
loves his naps.
Okay, so it was kind of like the Coliseum thing in Godzilla X Kong, where he's just like,
that's where they got it from.
Did they build the building around him?
Well, I think what happens is Anguirus, because you find out, he was calling for Godzilla, so maybe he went through one of Anguirus' tunnels and popped up into it. Maybe.
All right, that makes
there
sense.
You go.
The scale's not really consistent at this point in the series, so I think it
I'm
lines
just nitpicking here, okay?
Shit, I'll buy it.
I like to point out things like this.
he was in Hollow Earth and he came through the middle.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what it was. Yep.
Be careful, it's upside down. Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
What happens when we turn off gravity?
Flying Godzilla.
How wacky.
Then we meet the best characters in this movie, the aliens.
Oh god!
Which are just guys with some makeup on their face in shiny suits, just sitting there looking menacing, smoking a cigar. Like, who are you?
They're space
He's
cigars.
mugging hard.
Oh my god, he is always mean mugging, man. It's great. He is a true villain. And then you find out that the first Godzilla we meet is actually Mechagodzilla.
This song is so dope.
Yes. And they both go at it. Mechagodzilla and Godzilla, they fight. They both kind of...
Godzilla comes out of the fucking ground like a badass that he is, and he's just like, motherfuck, who are you?
This is my swamp.
It's just so good. Oh yeah, get in my swamp. It's just such a good scene.
One of my favorite scenes from this fight where they get at it is where it's almost shot from the back of like the real Godzilla and then fake Godzilla, like further in the background, and he just like gets that one smokestack and just fucking slams it into him. He's just like, wha-bam!
So good, dude.
It's so great.
But they have that moment where they both hit each other and then they both fall down. But Godzilla is like bleeding. Like there's a lot of blood on his chest, and you're like, holy shit,
this is normal.
This is not something I've seen before. And Mechagodzilla's just chilling, like, okay, somebody come fix me now. Because that's what happens. They're like, sir, something's wrong. We need to bring it back. And then I love the transformation where the flying mode of Mechagodzilla is it flies away. Gotta go repair him.
It's such a cool reveal though, because like he like burns all of his skin off, and you see like the full Mechagodzilla and the fire is in front of him and shit. It's just so cool.
And he looks really cool. Yeah.
I love the dub. Two Godzillas? What does it mean? The one that came out of Mount Fuji is a cyborg. The space metal is the evidence. Like, yes, okay, Doc. Keep hitting that pipe, bro.
The space titanium.
Yep.
Japan's got some good stuff.
Yeah. That Okinawa Kush, dude. He's
oh god.
It just hits different.
That's why they're trying to keep the Japanese at Okinawa.
Yeah.
Kush.
You can't take our sweet stuff.
They smoked the real Hedora.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They're smoking the stack.
Dude, I want a baked Hedora, dude. Just a baked ass Hedora.
There's fan art, I'm sure.
That's what he's trying to do that whole movie, dude. He's trying to smoke those huge stacks. He's always putting mouth on them.
I can't wait till we cover that movie.
Especially in Final Wars, I think he even does it.
Yeah.
God,
that's how he gets stronger.
Yep.
I love the shot of Mechagodzilla back on. Well, it's not a spaceship. It's like their base inside that cave that you later find out. But Mechagodzilla is on his like platform, and then they show people walking in front of it. I love What kind of shot is this? Is this forced perspective, or is
it's a matte shot?
Matte, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's getting some maintenance done because that first fight fucked him up. So they're then back in the ancient Okinawan temple cave thing that they found earlier in the movie, and they're trying to figure out how to summon King Caesar. They're trying to solve this riddle, which would then help awaken him. And the aliens are
right
not
now
happy
it's just like
about
a
this.
big hole in the. Right now it's just like a big hole in the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Not yet. We don't see.
No. Yeah, because that's a little later when you
Yeah.
actually like get to see his face.
Yeah.
No, this is when they're back in the temple from earlier in the movie, and they're looking at that mural again, and then they're trying to solve the riddle. And the aliens know about this because the aliens are trying to take that statue, so that they can have King Caesar to themselves, so they can have all the powerful monsters. And then their whole thing is to kill Godzilla. They don't even want to deal with him because they got a better one. So
fuck Godzilla.
Yeah,
we'll just build our own.
Yeah. So we then have 3 people get taken by the aliens, and I went, "Who are these people?" One of them, I think, is the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And then it's one of the main guys that we've seen before. Is this the archaeologist?
It's his brother.
Okay. And then it's the daughter. And I was like, where did she come from? I don't remember seeing her. Did she show up for a scene and I don't remember? I don't know.
It was earlier when they were visiting and you see her in the background.
Sure. But yeah, the aliens ask the doctor to help them kind of fix and improve Mechagodzilla. And if he doesn't, then his family will die.
I still don't know why they needed their help other than just plot convenience. These aliens are pretty fucking smart. Why do they even need any human input at all?
This guy made a pipe out of space titanium, dude. And they were like, "How did you do that?" And of course, you can make Godzilla better, or Mechagodzilla better.
All right, fair enough. That's a legitimate actual response. I didn't think about it that way. You got me.
He figured it out.
Yeah. Something we didn't
when
know.
I ask
right?
a question and somebody gives me a legitimate answer. I love it.
Seriously, though, I don't know. I thought it was kind of like, all right, well, they're there because they're the characters, sure, but I didn't think about that.
I think it's like a brilliant scientist thing, and they're like, "Oh, well, you must know a lot about Godzilla, so how do we make our Mechagodzilla impervious to him?" ? I don't know.
Yeah, based off your knowledge. Okay, yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
I think it's just the regular movie stereotype that even villains fall for. That scientists, ergo, they know everything. Like, no.
Yeah, right,
a little bit, yeah.
So
Monkey.
Godzilla gets powered up. I love when Godzilla gets powered up by the lightning. Like, you got a lightning storm, so he just keeps getting hit by the lightning. It's powering him up. Then
you learned that from King Kong.
Yeah, you get that hue that goes around him that kind of shows him like powering up.
Yeah.
And this was when my wife went, "Why is he sparking?" I'm like, well, he is getting hit by lightning. And then later on, when he
gets
starts
a new ability in this movie,
yeah, and then when he starts sparking again, she's like, "Why is he sparking? I don't know. I don't understand what's happening."
He's powering up. Gosh, leave him alone.
Jeez, babe, don't jump in halfway through the movie. So, mustache guy shows back up and picks a lock in 0.03 seconds. This man didn't even try. He just was like, and just opens the door. Like, okay.
Alien pick lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just had to breathe on it.
Unlocked.
And
your alcohol level's high enough to open this lock.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He steals the statue, but before he can get out, well, actually, no, he does go back to his room, and then the same guy he fought earlier shows back up again to fight him. He just
kicks in his door.
Just like do, just because
more James Bond shit.
It's so great, man.
I feel bad for this guy. He can't go nowhere. You think he just like opens up, like goes to the bathroom, like Keisuke just kicks this, starts whooping his ass while he's trying to take a shit. Like,
how long have you been in there? So, well, I had to pass the time. I knew you were stealing the statue, so I figured I got 5 minutes. I got to take a quick shit before I fight you. Don't go in your bathroom. Oh, wait, you're going to be dead by the time this is over, so don't even have to worry about that. But yeah, Mustache Man gets shot in the eye and then turns into half a ape from Planet of the Apes. I was like, wow, this is it, guys. This is what we're doing. Here we go.
You need to talk about the boat.
But this all happens at night.
Even though it's clearly
not at night.
What was the movie we just did? Crater Lake Monster.
Yeah.
But this is better than that.
Where they're like, yes, this is nighttime. We should put the blue filter on.
Oh, like a day to night conversion.
I forgot to put the blue filter on. Well, we can't go back and fix it. So you literally have characters talking about the stars, and it is bright as hell in the movie.
Look at the stars; they're beautiful. We'll fix it in post. Post never happens.
That's some bright stars and moon.
You see that every once in a while, especially in films from like that era, where it's like, well, they tried. They were filming that shit on the spot. They didn't know that they got the dailies till like a couple days later or some shit.
Well, like there were movies that did it right, where they like you would have that filter, which I know a lot of times they just put like a blue filter over like a day shot.
Yeah.
The day for night. Yeah.
Cruel Jaws, it was blue. It was like it was brighter blue than my lights that are on right now. Like it was like what? I don't know what time of day it is. Are we on another planet? Like what? This movie is horrible.
Well, it's Cruel Jaws. What did you expect?
Well, it's an Italian ripoff of an Italian ripoff. So there you go.
Oh, it was a lot of fun to talk about. That movie is
Jaws 5, baby.
Listen, they literally did the Star Wars theme song and went, you know how we're not going to get copyright struck on this? Just change the last note. They'll never get us. Okay.
Vanilla Ice all over again.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So this is great because he's not dead. He gets up and he starts doing like a monkey, like an ape sound. He's like,
he forgets Japanese.
He's like running away. And
but it has like an echo on it. It's great.
It freaked me out when I was a kid, dude. I was like, what the fuck?
Me too.
Did he scare you when you were a kid when he like jumped out?
Mm-hmm.
I love the lawn chair throws. He just starts tossing the chairs that are on the ship.
Yeah.
There's no one on this boat either. They're just them.
It's a quiet night, day, whatever.
Yeah, then he gets shot again, and then he falls off the boat, and he's got the statue in his hand, and they're like,
"Man,
what happened to the statue?" Oh, he fell off, and he's down there.
I love that. Go ahead, no, finish this.
But that's when they're like, "Oh yeah, the real statue was with the captain of the boat. That one was fake."
Like, we used the real one. We gave him a fake one that we bought at the gift shop on Okinawa Island.
Dude, the dub. I just to talk about the dub. I love this exchange of lines. It's after the monkey man gets shot and falls over the boat. Keisuke's like, "I'm worried about the way he fell," and the lady's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I think somebody shot him." And then Numbara comes out of nowhere. This man wounded, like he's bleeding. He's like, "On a wonderful night like this, you two should be talking about love."
Love, yeah.
And then walks the fuck off. What are you doing?
Wasn't this is where we find out that he's part of Interpol, right?
Nope, later.
Oh,
still not yet.
Yeah, this is just same old creepy guy. He's the one who actually shoots him. So yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Spoiler.
No, he was the guy. No, he's the one who shot Monkey Man.
It was pretty obvious.
Should be talking about love.
Yeah. I gotta go fix my wound, or I might bleed out. So they get back to the hotel. They find out that the doctor and his two kids aren't there. So they're just like, well, what do we do? I forgot to mention this man, the man who's with archaeologist girl, has the meanest bottom jaw. Like he looks like a bulldog, man. He is just, it's protruding. Like he looks like he's in a fucking, he's got that freaking underbite, man. He's ready to go. So creepy guy, he's just still lurking around, just peeking around corners. Like, what you guys doing? What you guys doing? And then the Jowl man, he just goes back to the cave. And you get the same thing again where he walks there and you get that bright light before he gets like taken by the aliens. Which I forgot to mention, that's how the group got taken before. It's just bright light. It's like, but you don't see who's on the other end on the first one, but this time you see a guy holding a gun. Or
it's a space mag light.
It's like a stun thing.
Yeah, he's like, where's the
stun?
There you go. Yes. He's like, where's my brother? And the professor, he's like, you'll see your friends soon. Or rather, their corpses.
One of these alien guys, before he turns into a Planet of the Apes character, looked like Bruce Lee. Like straight up, I thought Bruce Lee was in this movie. This was the year. I think this was.
I mean,
the
he
year
was
died,
Chinese,
right?
so I don't know about that one.
Oh, right.
Rough.
He looked like him. He looked like him. That wasn't
That's
where
fair.
I was going with that.
Right, what are you trying to say?
Parker, let me throw you. I'm gonna throw you a
All right,
bone
I'm
here.
gonna-
Dude. Believe me, they think all of us white people look the fucking same too. It's fine. It's normal.
I'm totally just busting your chops.
All right, we're gonna move on from this game.
Hey, this is not the first time. Hold on. No, time out. This is not the first time Parker's been accused of being a racist on this show.
I wasn't even doing that. I was just busting your chops about Bruce Lee
I'm
being
just kidding.
Chinese.
Yes,
That's all I
I have
meant.
to. I have to keep my reputation.
But definitely cut it out. I don't blame
Thank you,
I don't
Darren.
blame you.
I don't know how to get back from that. This is where you find out that creepy guy is part of Interpol.
Yes, this is where
He just randomly drops that piece of knowledge. Like, yeah, I'm an Interpol, but I'm an agent. Like,
By the way,
okay.
I'm following you.
If
No
you didn't
shit.
notice.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I killed that
haven't
guy.
Yeah, I haven't been very subtle. I'm just kind of hiding behind light posts and peeking
And wearing
behind walls.
sunglasses.
Yeah, and wearing sunglasses at night. They have a song written about that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't help it. He likes to wear them at night.
I had a realization about what's about to come up, and I need to talk about it.
So the family gets led to a room that then they turn on like an oven, which gets really dramatic.
Oh,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
it's like getting brighter and brighter red, and they're clearly getting cooked alive.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where it's like, can they get to him before they all fry? Yes, they do. They do.
Is this
And
like
then
one of the
the
most
thermometer.
inconvenient ways to kill a person?
Steaming them to death, right?
They're not very smart. They can build a giant Mechagodzilla, but they're actually quite stupid.
They have the guns. Why don't they just like late done?
Yeah.
Solved. Problem solved.
You know, they
Put 'em in
wanted
the
to...
space
No, they wanted to.
incinerator.
It was more fun to watch them cook.
Right,
Okay.
well, they wanted to eat
They're
their
trying to
skin.
get the doctor to like
Slow
work on
torture.
the thing, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or whatever.
Well, I guess he does. He does work on it for a bit. But then he's like, yeah, I'm done.
And then you
So-
like toss him in there.
I
Go in the
finished.
sauna. Let's see if you can stand up to our space sauna.
Well, I love the dramatics in these movies, like where the characters are just like, I can't take it anymore. And the one guy's like, stay strong. We can do it.
And like
The
they're
dub
like,
does not help
We're
that.
going to die.
no, they're covering themselves. They're kind of like take the coat off. It'd be less hot, wouldn't it not? Would it not be?
All of a sudden, they're all naked in there.
Oh, God, like
really
Ace
weird.
Ventura or something, yeah.
Yeah, kind of hot in these space titanium rooms.
That rhino's giving birth.
Dude, oh my god, hold on, dude.
I just mean covered totally in sweat like him, but yeah, that's actually kind of funny. They're all in their own individual rhinos in there.
But they fall out of Space Godzilla's, or I keep saying Space Godzilla, Mechagodzilla's ass.
Oh, God, yeah. Either or.
So we have at work, we had a running gag with this. My boss is a wonderful man, as a child at heart, and he bought a $10,000 dinosaur costume. Dinosaur costume. It's electronics, the head's mechanical, like you get inside of it, and there's a screen and you can see everything, and there's always the joke is like, don't forget to turn your little fan on like Ace Ventura. You don't want to climb out the dinosaur's ass.
You better put the fan on. It costs $10,000. You better turn on every damn doohickey when you go in that fucking thing. Holy
Legitimate
shit.
Every time reminds me of that fucking
I have
scene.
sticker shock and I didn't even buy the fucking thing when I heard that number.
Yeah, seriously.
It's obscene.
Nonsense, Poopy Pants.
Oh,
Poopy Pants?
Holy cow, that's kind of cool.
That dinosaur is great.
He's just a curious little dino.
Natasha.
You're just a curious little dino.
Her name is
Holy
Natasha,
shit, I need
and
to
she's awesome.
I need to do that if I'm ever in the suit again.
You've been in the suit?
One time, couple
Oh.
times. It doesn't. It's not for me.
One time.
One time, a couple times. 3 times.
Somebody's car in there.
May or may not have been under separate occasions. It may or may not have been had clothing. You know, keep cool. Get into character. Slip in if you want.
Definitely, possibly naked at least once, but not confirming.
Don't forget to hook up the lubricant pump.
Yeah. Mayday!
Oh, God.
Oh, so they save the group like at the last second. Like they get
hold
they
on.
get in there.
They missed the best part. How they get into the base.
Oh.
Hold on. And the dude that gets shot, Nambara doesn't kill him. He messes his hand up and he gets like gorilla hand.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he like rubs one out like that and they call it the monkey's
That's
paw?
the guy who I thought looked like Bruce Lee.
Okay, I can kind of see what you're talking about.
So we got to do this. I have to do this.
Oh, now you're racist, Sean.
I never called anybody racist. Jesus Christ.
It's a witch hunt in here. So they lead the dude to the door. And well, you got to do it with me and they have a password for when they open the door. My brother and I have done this since we were kids, and Angela's done it since like we've been married, and we have to do it. So you got to do it.
Alpha
Centaurus. And like I love the calls. I sent that to my brother. I said Alpha Centaurus, and he's like, "You're watching Mechagodzilla." Yes. So sometimes we'll see each other and we'll do it. I know anyway, carry on. I'm done.
That's so good.
Oh man. I just love
they save him.
They save him. And then when they're trying to get out, he does like the behind the back shot to kill a guy.
Oh,
and I was like, he doesn't even look, man. He's just like, wah!
With the revolver, yeah.
Numburra's like pre-Bruce Willis. He has his revolver taped to his back.
Yeah.
It just falls, catches it with his fucking foot, shoots it with
because
his
of all the
pinky
steam.
toe.
It's all sweaty. It just falls off.
Oh no. We then get this really weird shot where they all climb into the car. And they're like, "Don't turn it on yet." And he like whips out this like tape measure thing. And then the cut is so weird because he like, it looks like he's going to do something, and then it shows the car blow up. And you're like, do you just blow everyone up? Everyone's dead now? Like, that cut was so quick. Well, and then they just come out of the bushes like,
like Angela.
I don't think we're dead. That was a good idea. Yeah.
Like Angela said, he's got this long ass string and he uses it to turn the fucking key because I guess they just know this is a bomb. So let's use this 20 fucking foot string.
It's not 20 foot anymore because that thing burned half of it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I just assumed he's like, don't hit the ignition. He goes to hit it and he didn't put the clutch in and it just explodes.
Right, like the beginning of Casino or something like that.
Yes.
And of course, like a lot of movies, you have the heroes rescue more, they rescue people and then they're like, we got to go back. We got to stop them once and for all. And so they have to go back into the base. Because they got to destroy Mechagodzilla's head control, because that's you destroy the brain, kills the Mechagodzilla.
Mm-hmm. It does something. Is that what it is? Like I was still kind of confused about that. What was the point of that? Godzilla can't destroy this thing without them doing something.
It's got to use the pipe.
Well, it stops them from controlling it.
Okay,
the Mechagodzilla.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much if the aliens can't control Mechagodzilla, it gives Godzilla more of an advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that got you.
Because as
same
you can
thing
see,
happened in Godzilla versus Gigan.
Because as you can see in a little bit, you're gonna they're literally just pushing buttons, and it's just unlimited missiles shooting out of Mechagodzilla.
Well, it's a little inconsistent because sometimes they're pushing buttons, and other times he's just saying Mechagodzilla attack.
Control. Mechagodzilla.
I love his hands, dude, when they spin.
Oh yes.
When his fucking hands spin and the finger missiles shoot out.
So good.
That's my favorite.
But like the reload is like instantaneous. He's just like shooting missiles and it just reloads.
Yeah.
My wife is sitting there going, "What is happening right now?"
Anime logic.
Thing of beauty.
Just doesn't end. But yeah, we see more of the aliens getting killed and they turn into cheap Planet of the Apes characters.
They do.
No joke.
Awesome
They
Planet of
had
the
to
Apes,
have asked. They must have been like, "Hey, I don't remember what studio did. Was it 20th Century Fox? Can we borrow your Planet of the Apes costumes? You still got some? You've already made 6 of them by this point."
It just makes me think of like other like space gorillas being a theme, because the Spectre Man with Dr. Gory.
I was just going to say Spectre Man. Yeah.
I fucking love those two, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't Godzilla have like a history of doing like weird aliens? Like weren't there like cockroach aliens in one of them?
Yeah, that was Gigan.
That's what I thought. I like that one.
Gigan's the one with the knife, like the.
He's probably my favorite
ones, right?
monster. The movie, I don't know.
Yeah, Gigan has the hooks and the buzzsaw on his belly, but the aliens in that are actually cockroaches.
Cockroaches,
Yep.
yeah.
That look like humans. It's great. Yeah. Unless you shine a light on them, and it's like, oh, Men in Black. He's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, right. Their silhouettes are like roaches.
Yeah.
Sugar.
That's a weird one.
Sugar water.
Never saw sugar yet before.
Hey, Edgar, your skin's falling off your face.
Bees. That would just make me think of Simpsons. The bees are taking my sugar. Get off, bees! Oh no, they're defending themselves somehow.
There it is. You can check it off. Simpsons.
I'm working on
an episode. Check it out.
I know. I haven't made a SpongeBob one yet.
I know.
Give me time.
It has to fit, Dan. You can't force it.
I know. It's gotta be natural. Spit helps.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I guess I had in my notes another Interpol agent saves the statue. Group. Okay.
Yeah. Because they have Nami, and the old man. He's like, hand over the statue, or the old man and the girl die.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid. It was just kind of like, all right, well, there's another guy. Sure, whatever. But my brain's already left my other side of my ear at this point in the movie. I'm like, all right, stop thinking, Sean. You got to stop thinking. You're just not going to enjoy yourself otherwise.
Just enjoy monsters fighting.
Yeah. Just because it does like,
bang, bang.
The character shows up out of nowhere. I think he has like one line of dialogue, and then he doesn't say anything else the rest of the movie. It's like, all right, I guess there's more than one of them.
Most of the human characters in this movie, I was like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do other than you say what you do, and then I forget because you don't do that thing for the majority of the movie.
For a while.
I'm an archaeologist. I dig for 3 minutes, and then I'm just going to be the damsel in distress running around. Okay, sure. I don't care. But you get the laser statue where he puts the laser.
Oh, yeah,
shoots the mountain, and that reveals King Caesar's very statue-like face. Really cool. He's got that big old grin on his face. He's just
and they're just like, great, we let him out. Why the fuck is he sitting there? What's going on here?
He's like, I wasn't ready to wake up.
Remote start. Go.
He's like, I still got 30 minutes on my alarm, Mom.
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
Oh, the prophecy starts in another 20. I'm good.
We got some more human scenes we got to get through first.
Yeah.
And so this is when the aliens are like, picks up the walkie-talkie. Mechagodzilla, kill King Caesar.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we get the song, and
get to singing.
The note I put in here was actually what my wife said. She goes, "This song is so long. Like it's a full-on song. Like it's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like." Go to Spotify. You could probably get the whole thing. It's like,
I think it's on there, yeah, along with the Mothra song as well.
Oh, that's good. I like the Mothra song a lot. I used to hate this song. Like when it come up, like fuck, fast forward it. But now I love it. It's part of the charm.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't hate it. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I get it.
Classic.
Like, can we just? Like we don't need the full 3-minute song. Like put that during the credits. Like put that in the credits, okay? Like I can enjoy it that way. But
we need to remix that during the credits.
She's knee deep in the sand, freaking singing to King Caesar.
She needs to hear the Hedorah song.
Yeah, that one's good too. Yeah,
are we gonna hear that one next week?
Yeah.
Oh, I like. Listen, the
Save the Earth one.
Yes. I want to do the fish heads. Like,
it's so good.
Dude, I cannot wait till we do that, Parker. You have no idea the shit you're in for.
Oh, man,
listen,
great.
I'm strapping in for this whole month, okay? I'm ready. But so King Caesar, you find out he can like absorb a laser. Like this was my interpretation. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. So Mechagodzilla shoots a rainbow laser at him and he absorbs it and then shoots it back at him.
Yeah, that's
that
like
what
his
he
power.
does? Okay.
But it
goes in one.
Exactly. It's in one eye, out the other, because his eyes basically look like diamonds.
Yeah, like with Sean's brain, but with the ears.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, the joke I just told. Yeah.
The laser goes in one ear and out the other.
But that's why then when he shoots him with the missiles, it doesn't do anything, because it's not like an energy attack. It's just a fucking missile and it just fucks him up, and he's getting shot all over the place like Power Rangers.
He's like, I don't like this one.
My biggest disappointment is when you see King Caesar like walking around and he like sings Mechagodzilla's ears just go like straight
I
up.
love that when they shoot up in the air.
Cool. So cool.
And he's like hiding behind rocks and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm not built for this.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I thought you were just gonna shoot energy attacks. What is this Mitchell shit?
Not to reference a not great movie. It's like Batman v Superman, where there's a fight between Superman, Wonder Woman, and Doomsday, and then you have Batman like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I here? I can't do shit.
No
I'm
argument.
just a
Pretty good,
man.
though.
He did. Listen, I actually like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Well, I was gonna say Godzilla and Cesar.
Oh,
they
sorry.
gave Mecha G pretty good.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you're good.
But yeah, Godzilla's back. Comes back. He's like, you can't bring me down. I'm Godzilla.
Fulfilling the prophecy, dude. Fulfilling the prophecy.
You get a couple shots where they're clearly reverse shots, where it's like Godzilla falls and then they just reverse him back to him standing up again instead of just having him get up. It's like
That's quicker.
That's fine.
It's faster.
You get the head spin force field for Mechagodzilla,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is great. And then Godzilla like
Fucks his hands
goes
up
to
on
grab
it.
it, yeah, and it's just like ah.
I
Like when
love
you pick up
hands.
like you pick up a pit, you're really busy. You got something in the oven and you forget to put on the oven mitts. Like, ah!
I do love
I like
how
how
I always wonder, like, or rather, I'd rather be like someone on the like a fly on the wall. That's what I'm trying to say. When they decided like what effect was going to be on camera and what was going to be like in post, because it's like you have all those explosions, but like some of those attacks from Mechagodzilla, like you said, like that rainbow electricity attack, and he has like one that's just a lightning bolt that kind of moves across the screen, but then it's just also explosions peppered, and it's like kind of cool how they decided how to do that. It just kind of gives it that extra flair.
Yeah.
And even Godzilla's atomic breath now has like more of a I guess they're going for an electric feel to it, but it's like a more bright blue, whereas before it's more of the classic blue with green that you see in a lot of the other films at the time. And I like the subtle changes his back. We didn't talk about it, but when he does get hit by all that lightning like King Kong in Godzilla versus King Kong, his back like explodes from the electricity. So I kind of like those little details. And
his fins all powered up.
Yeah. It's cool when they add stuff like that.
Godzilla's roar happens a lot.
Yes.
And sometimes it's too much. It's every time he opens his mouth. Yeah. That was another thing my wife was like, is he done? I was like, no, he's going to keep going because he's fighting. And every time he opens his mouth, he's going to make that noise. So strap in. It's happening.
It's part of the charm, dude. He's a talker.
Listen,
he's a
like I
lover.
said, this is our first time. Okay.
It's like a cat. Yeah.
My wife doesn't appreciate these things. Okay. I'm trying to teach her to appreciate these things.
That's okay if she does. That's fine. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where all the missiles and lasers are just going off, and you're just like going, whoa!
Holy shit!
It's like you can't keep track of what is going on.
No,
it's just
he's throwing everything he's got at them.
It's literally cutting back and forth like constantly, and you're just like, oh my god!
King Caesar just looks like he's trying to hide behind Godzilla the whole time. He's like, get your fucking ass out here!
He's just leaping around like ah!
I wouldn't want to get shot either, so I don't blame the guy. So,
Godzilla gets freaking. Is this where Godzilla gets hit in the neck and he's just spewing blood? He's just spraying. Everyone's like, "What is happening? This is a rated G movie."
Bolts in him too, right?
Oh, yeah, the missiles like go in.
And he's like bleeding.
Oh yeah, this is where my wife was just like, "No, Godzilla," as all the missiles are in him, and then he powers up and all the missiles. She's like, "Yeah, go Godzilla!"
That's what a Godzilla movie's about, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what's your wife's reaction to that? That's what it's supposed to be.
It's like pro wrestling, but with monsters.
It is.
Yeah.
It's no fun if the good guy doesn't get his ass whooped for a little
A
while.
little bit, yeah.
Gamera just cranks that up to 11.
Oh, he sure does.
Gamer
He's
gets
cutting
his
people's fucking arms off and heads and shit.
Yeah,
yeah. Gamer gets his ass kicked, disappears for 48 minutes of the movie, comes back at the end like, I'm here.
I figured it out.
Just had to go charge up.
I mean, we had a solid half hour here where there's no monsters, but it mostly works.
I swear this is where, I know this is like a common trope in these kind of movies where like, you know, they have those tussle or whatever and then the big thing, kind of. But like, I think this, like for Gamera's thing, where like the gets ass kicked, come back later and win, is like Akira Toriyama's like, I'm going to do that with Goku all the fucking time.
Wow. That's not even
like
a Dragon Ball thing. That is a shonen trope, man.
Yes, it
Straight
is.
up.
I don't know if that's where that started from, but I was like...
Well, maybe Godzilla, yeah, maybe. Or stuff of that era, for sure. I think you might be onto something, Dan.
So, Godzilla turns into a giant magnet.
turned himself into a magnetic force.
I love it, man. Because like, and Mechagodzilla's like trying to fucking fly away. Yeah,
it's like maximum thrust.
He's like, I can't go any further.
Oh, that part takes me out of it a little bit. I'm like, I'm trying to suck up the charm.
Everything you've seen in this fucking movie, that takes you out of it.
I mean, I was already taken out of it at that point, to be perfectly honest. I was trying to throw it a couple bones, but that was really rough. I was like, yeah, come here, I'm pulling you. Because now he's magnetic, like you guys are talking. I'm like, all right, I guess they're just adding powers. They don't give a fuck. It's Godzilla. Don't overthink it.
Well, that was the whole point when he got electrocuted.
Sure.
Coming from the guy who loves anime and like all those kind of things where anything could happen.
Consistency. My problem with literally everything. Go listen to Movie Dumpster. If you listen, it's the consistency is my problem. Not that things happen. It's consistently that they don't.
With the
happen.
show?
Yes, MovieDumpsterPodcast.com. Go check it out.
I don't know if you saw this, but about 2 movies ago,
I did it.
Flew through the air by using his atomic breath.
Maybe that's why these movies aren't for me, even though I want them to be. As I find out over the years, I'm like, man, I love Godzilla, and then I rewatch the movies, and I'm like, well, I liked it, but I don't know if I loved it.
No, I'm getting conflated. That's in Godzilla vs. Hedorah when he goes after Hedorah.
Oh, when he's flying with his tail.
He turns into he turns into like a crescent moon and flies backwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I will say for this that what Sean's saying does line up with him liking the Heisei films because since it's a connected thread.
Oh yeah.
It's a consistent like as things happen, things change. It's just that group of movies
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Godzilla literally slid on his tail for a good 1.5 miles to kick some fucking other monster.
to drop kick him.
Right, I realize how ridiculous I sound even complaining about it, but I gotta say it.
No, you're good, dude. You're good.
So yeah, King Caesar and Godzilla tag team fight. Mechagodzilla is defeated because he gets his head ripped off.
Oh man, he fucking twists his head around and just breaks it off. It's so good.
Also, the pipe comes into play. That whole like polarity thing. Throw it over there. It fucks up like their communications.
Yeah.
Dude, I would say one thing about that pipe thing is they build it up to be something relevant, and like it's literally Godzilla's already got a hold of Mechagodzilla. It's like turning his head. Then it's like do the pipe thing. Like shit, the pipe, and then like we got to squeeze it in, and then like they plug the leader, dude. He gets like shot in the neck, and he's.
Yeah,
seriously.
So we're back at the base, and all hell's broken loose because now Mechagodzilla's out of commission, and the leader there gets shot in the neck and just spews black goo all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Don't eat that! You're gonna turn into a xenomorph."
It is
the Prometheus monster.
Dude, don't bring that shit into here.
Yeah.
But now this simian has horns all over his face because he's the biggest baddest guy.
It actually just looked like he had some sort of disease. It didn't look like he had horns. It was like that one didn't get treated correctly.
Oh god.
He didn't put on the ointment like he was told.
Space acne.
Well, these fucking things look like they were drinking colloidal silver their whole lives.
Oh, it's great. We get more explosions. We get sleigh bells. Did you guys hear the sleigh bells during this? I was like,
yes.
Are we about to get into a Christmas movie? Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Why come we never got a Christmas Godzilla movie? Like Godzilla Saves Christmas?
Because you would have picked it, because they said Dan would have picked it for December.
There is a dinosaur adjacent Japanese Christmas movie that we will be tackling on Patreon.
Well, hold on.
Oh god.
What's the name of the movie? Can you say? Or is it a secret?
Yeah,
don't tell him.
It's called Rex.
Damn it. Now Dan's gonna.
You want me to look that shit, dude? No, you don't want me to bring up the fucking Last Dinosaur, all right? That movie's terrible.
No, that's a different. Yeah, that's a different one.
No. But he's giving me shit. Or Dinosaurus. Anyway.
Or how about Baby? The Legend. What is it? The Lost Legend.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
With William Cat, he finds a fucking baby brontosaurus.
We need to find more lake monster movies. That's our ticket because we got to like slowly get better, like pliosaur based lake monster movies.
Oh, please,
gotcha.
Because the last two have not been great. The only thing that Crater Lake Monster has is Phil Tippett's stop motion. That's it.
It's really good though.
That is it.
It's really good. But
it is good.
We did have one good lake monster movie, and I will stand by it. The Horror at Party Beach.
Yeah, that one was fun.
That was actually pretty good.
Is that the one with the hot dog teeth monster?
Yes, that's the one.
You guys don't like Ted Danson's Loch Ness?
We haven't covered that one. We haven't covered it. We covered Loch Ness Horror from 1982. That movie is hot garbage. It is legit garbage. It is a bunch of people trying to be Scottish, and they're not. And the monster looks terrible. Everything is terrible about that movie. It's the worst movie I think I've ever reviewed, other than Cruel Jaws.
Sean, you should do Bog.
No.
Bog? Well, just as flat, no. Just
I don't know what that is. No.
We don't go out of our way to purposely do bad movies, but The Bog is one me and Joe watched many years ago, and it's a snooze fest.
Yeah. Listen, I get it. I get you guys don't want to cover bad movies, but to be honest, I love your early episodes where you guys would cover movies you hated.
We still do it sometimes. Sometimes we'll bring them back.
Listen, I understand the audio. A lot of people don't like that. To be honest, I don't care. We covered the 2017 The Mummy movie. That movie is bad. It is bad. And we knew it was bad going into it, but we needed to talk about it.
It depends. If we can make it funny, that's one thing. You know?
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
Dr. Moreau, we just covered that.
If you're not just going to go through and just completely slam the movie and just be a piece of shit about it, then I get that. But like, if you can make it funny, I mean, that's kind of the whole point.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Godzilla goes back to the water because that's how it always goes. That's also a reverse shot, by the way. Like when they show him going back into the water, it's actually him coming out of the water, but they just reverse the shot.
There you go.
Okay.
Saves time.
The alien base is destroyed. King Caesar goes back to bed in his mountain.
Deuces, bitches.
Yeah, he's like, can you put the rocks back over my face so I don't see me anymore?
Pull it over.
Yeah, he's like, now my face is exposed. I don't like this.
Great. Now birds are gonna like shit on me and stuff when I'm sleeping.
And then everybody's kind of gathered around. They watch the priestess girl do another song and dance, and everybody's smiling and laughing, and then it's over. That's it. That's the end.
We almost all died.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1974.
Also, VHS had
go around the room and talk about our final thoughts on the movie. Joe.
Like I said in the beginning, I just love this one. I think it's a perfect mix of everything, especially for the Showa era. In the beginning, it's like it with Gojira and even Godzilla Raids Again, you have this serious tone, and then there's a shift there where it's like, oh, okay, well, these movies are popular with kids, so let's make them a little bit more kid friendly, less serious, more whatever's kind of take some Western influences, like I was saying before, like even with the spy movies for this particular portion of these Goji films, and even like you said before, the brighter colors and the little bit more how do I put it? Well, because like I think of like Godzilla vs. Megalon, and like that one's just like batshit insanity. You have like an Atlantis, and you have Megalon, and you have Jet Jaguar, and that, and Gigan shows up, and it's like a whole weird thing. It's not particularly good, but I think this one has a little bit of everything. It has a pretty decent plot. For what it is. I mean, it is just aliens coming to Earth to destroy Godzilla and take it over. But I think there's a little bit more to chew on, and I like the archaeology stuff. I like the way that they have Caesar and or King Caesar rather, and he's kind of like Okinawa's own protector, like you were saying, like how it was separate, from like an island off Japan versus Japan itself. And I don't know. I think it's just really cool. It's the first one I ever saw. It's the one I fell in love with, and I might be biased because of that. But I think Mechagodzilla is one of the best kaiju ever. He's my favorite. I love the simian aliens. I think they're funny as hell. Space Titanium is fantastic as well. And I don't know. It's just really good. I love the score too. The score's fantastic. Again, like I said before, that when Mechagodzilla in his disguise fights Anguirus. That's like one of my favorite music cues of like Godzilla, like the entirety of Godzilla. So yeah, I just really love it. I think it's a great one.
Awesome. John?
I thought this was okay. Definitely a 3 out of 5. Like, don't get me wrong. Just it's not a 5 out of 5 for me. It's like this weird thing. I kind of mentioned this before, where I have nostalgia for Godzilla the character, but then I go back and watch these movies, and maybe they just don't work for me anymore, or I don't know what it is. Like, I love the concept, And not that this was bad at all. Like I said, it's a 3 out of 5. I like a lot of the ideas in here. The kaiju fights, maybe that's what I always was there for. Like I was a Power Rangers fan as a kid. And, Super Sentai maybe is more my speed than Godzilla. But two totally different kind of things, kaiju versus that. I'm going off on a bit of a side tangent there. But I like the effects a lot in this. Like I was talking about, the way they kind of mix the digital, if you even want to call that, they're literally drawing on the fucking frames back in the day. The way they did that kind of stuff still boggles my mind. Just movies in general, 50 years ago.
Rotoscoping, lighting effects.
That's the word I couldn't think of, rotoscoping.
Rotoscoping, yeah. It's just that kind of stuff just always blows me away, no matter... Not all these movies, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but most of these Godzilla films, they really figured that out. And then the suit acting, like that's kind of a lost art today. I mean, you see stuff once in a while trying to kind of come back to this, but I feel like it's very far and few between. It's almost like you got to hunt for these movies. Joe maybe finds them occasionally, and it's almost like, oh, this weird thing that's like someone's trying in Japan, or it's an indie film, and it's like 50 years ago, this was the norm, especially coming out of Japan. And I kind of wish we could get back to that. I don't know if we ever can get back to that. It's kind of hard. People are so critical. I know we're critical on this, but we are also doing movie reviews. And even still, I think with that said, I think people that watch a lot of movies are more willing to give things a little bit more leeway. And maybe we could get back there. I know some of these big Hollywood pictures, like some of the Star Wars movies, try to get back. They're not quite someone in a Godzilla costume, but more practical effects, I guess is where I'm going with that.
Well, -1 was a triumph.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
-1 did kind of lean into a lot of that, and just the digital effects in that. Wow, that movie looks incredible. If you guys have seen that one, Godzilla just looks like something literally like that you could be walking, like running away from, rather, not walking towards. I don't know, but this is a really fun one to go back to. And like I said earlier, Mechagodzilla is a very iconic monster itself, and when it spins its head around and creates that force field, what a visual. I don't know. I can't really say much else. We kind of talked about it already. I don't love it, but I like it a lot, and it's one I would definitely watch again without a second thought.
Angela.
I've loved this every time we watch it. Still, the comments that we make, we still use them. It has to have been at least 10 years since we've watched this the very first time. So to have that ability to make these comments and quotes from the movie, it's got to be good, and you have to enjoy it. So I can't say that Mechagodzilla is my favorite because Ghidorah is my favorite, but he's high up there.
That's fine. I'm just making looks.
Don't look at me like that.
I judged you.
I know he's your...
You okay?
Yeah, I know he's your favorite.
Pretty much.
All right, Dan.
All right. It's pretty good.
That's all right.
It's a movie.
I just blew smoke up its ass. It's fine.
That's my line.
Yes. No, of course. I can't say anything else that we haven't probably said, as I tend to say, because I like to go last. I just love this movie, man. It's just everything you said about it. I love some of the interesting shots. Like, I know we poked about like Creeper, like
creepy guy,
Bush peeking Nambara, but I like kind of the shots of like him, like it's like the dude, it's like Mustache Man, and then it's like him, and it's like these shots, and I know what they were going for, and it probably doesn't look great to a lot of people, but I've always loved him, and just some of the cinematics of like Godzilla, like we talked about knocking the tower into fake Godzilla, and one of my favorite shots is it's actually like a pincer attack of King Caesar, Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla in the middle, and Mechagodzilla rotates his head backwards.
Oh yeah,
and like shoots a laser. I think it's Godzilla shoots a laser and shoots missiles at King Caesar, and they both fall over. And there's like this little like pagoda, and he just moves his arm over and just blows the fucking house up too. He's like, "This is what I am, bitch. This is what I'm here for." And I just love that shot because it didn't need to be there, but here we are.
It's awesome.
And I love like you said, the simians or whatever. I love them. I love their, they, spoiler alert, they show up in the next one too, and we get some excitement with them as well. And yeah, I just love that it was like one of the first films, like one of the few Godzilla films. It's like a back to back. It's like you do this, and like this next one is a direct sequel.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Most of the Godzillas are kind of more loosely connected of the Showa series, but this is just like boop boop. Like right after another.
The next one ends the Showa series.
It does. It really does.
So Yeah.
And this was like, as you said, this is speaking of ending, this is the last appearance we'd get for King Caesar and Anguirus for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's
they didn't show up in anything.
Mm-mm.
And as he said, Godzilla is my favorite. And I will die on the hill of saying the 1993 Godzilla movie, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, is a stupid fucking title, and it is not the correct title. And I will die forever. I want that. If I ever have do Tombstone thing, like, this is not correct. It's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and you can put 93 at the end.
I don't like
Mechagodzilla 2.
I don't like the design of that Mechagodzilla.
The only thing I like
is cool, but I don't like the second version.
I only like this like grenade port. He had like in his stomach his plasma grenade like opened up. I just thought that was a cool like 90s super attack kind of thing, you know. But like
he's too smooth.
I used to have an X Plus of
did?
that. That was the only one I ever had, and I ended up selling it to a buddy of mine because he's like, I really want that. I was like, yeah, you should have that. But anywho, great movie. I'm biased as fuck. I've seen this on the big screen. I used to we used to run a theater. My own the boss / friend used to own a movie theater, and he let me go up there. And he's like, yeah, just hook your shit up and watch it on the projector. And we fucking watched it on the big screen. It was really exciting. So very influential movie to me, and it's awesome. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it for anybody. It's a great starting point. You don't have to know what the fuck's going on. It's just fun.
Yep.
I had a lot of fun with this one. I can't wait to go back and just watch these as movies, like not having to take notes on them and do all that extra stuff. I just want to sit down and watch them. Because I know that I don't get to experience the full movie the way that I watch them for the show. So, but I had a blast. It was silly. It was just like some parts are just laugh out loud funny. The designs are good. I wish Anguirus though he did more. Like I wish he wasn't just like the slapping bag that just like fucking bah, and it's like see you later, and then he just never comes back.
And he was in hiding for 30 years because he got his ass whooped by Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
He was recovering.
So far though, have not cared much about the human characters of these movies. I've just really like watching the monsters fight because a lot of them just aren't interesting. A lot of these human characters are just kind of generic. Some of them are just boring. Some of them you literally like see them and then they don't do anything and then they show back up later and you're like, I'm here, remember me? And you're like, no, I don't, because you haven't done shit in 35 minutes. I forgot you exist. Or they just have the female character who's just like, I'm like, God,
that's accurate.
I'm so glad we wrote women well back in those days, huh? Great. But yeah, this is a fun movie. It's a great time, and I think that's what a lot of these Godzilla movies are. It's just fun. They're just fun movies. But now it's time to go over to social media and see what you all had to say about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Our first one is from our good friend Darren from Nostalgia Cast, who says, "Poor Anguirus. He was just trying to stick up for his friend."
This is what you get, bitch.
Yeah. Dustin from the Flicks and Friends podcast says, King Caesar is my favorite kaiju. I absolutely love this movie. Johnny Blue 84 says it was my first Godzilla movie. I remember walking to the mom and pop video store looking at the movies, and then I saw that amazing box and knew I had to rent it. And then Screen Nerds podcast said, I do love this one as one of my faves of the Showa era. All right. And then over on Instagram, we have a couple. We have one from Big Optimus 33 says, I love this movie. I've seen all the Godzilla movies and love them all. And then Team TNA podcast says, loosely based on actual events. I guess that has to be a joke.
We hope.
That I don't
True
understand.
Facts.
Yeah.
True facts.
Yeah.
Tale of Two Godzillas, yeah.
It was the Mirage.
The poster for this movie rules, by the way. Where it's literally, I love that they put Anguirus on it too. They're like,
which one?
This one,
the Japanese one. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Where you got King Caesar just peeking over freaking Mechagodzilla's shoulder
guys.
with his diamond eyes, like, you like my eyes? But yeah, that's it. That is everything for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Next week is week 3 of Godzilla Month. Well, actually, you guys are getting 2 episodes next week because we're going to be doing our Monster Zone episode, our Patreon exclusive show. We're going to be doing it for free this month because we just feel generous. We're going to be doing Terror of Mechagodzilla and Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. So you got 2 episodes coming for next week. We got a lot of Godzilla this month. It's a lot of fun. But now it's time for our wonderful guests to tell us what the hell is going on over at Movie Dumpster right now and where we can find you.
Well, you can find us at Movie Dumpster on all your social media platforms. You can go to moviedumpsterpodcast.com and you can get links to our YouTube there and your favorite podcast app. Spotify and Apple are the ones we push the most, but you can get us anywhere you'd like. What else?
YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Depending on when this comes out, it's probably going to come out after Halloween, but we just did all of our Trick or Trash stuff for the month of October, so you can go back and check that stuff out if you guys want to jump in there. What else we got, Sean?
I have no idea what's going on in November, but specifically in response to that, we did Salem's Lot, the 79 version, and Monster Squad, and we also did a review of the new Salem's Lot. But for November, I'm not actually sure. I know we're going to possibly do a couple things, but I don't even know what to announce, unfortunately, guys.
Oh, no. Don't announce anything for November because we didn't even talk about yet. We didn't even talk about it on our show yet.
Exactly. Behind the scenes, we've talked about it, but there's definitely stuff.
This won't be out till the second week of November.
Okay, there's definitely
you don't have to say anything.
We will have videos on our channel, youtube.com/moviedumpster, or like Joe said, check us out on the podcast feeds. We've got stuff coming out, covering movies, talking about movies. We're not we are dissecting them, but I don't want to steal your guys' bit.
It's over now. We're done. He just fucking killed us.
It's not like we're original.
But check us out. We mostly cover horror movies. I mean, we've kind of given the spiel the other times we've been on the show, but we do a little bit of everything. Those Forgotten Gems are kind of our bread and butter. But if you like what we brought to this episode, go check us out. We got more.
Yes, please. Anyone who is a regular listener to this show knows who Movie Dumpster is, because we talk about you guys pretty much every episode. If I'm not talking about you, I'm wearing the hat, so I'm always advertising for your show. Like, we love you guys. You guys get a little bit of a shout out in our Nightmare on Elm Street franchise retrospective, because we talked about Freddy's Dead, and we have to show off the awesome 3D glasses we got from you guys. I tried my best Nightmare 5 impersonation that Joe is a master of. I'm not going to do it now. You guys have to listen to that episode. That was a couple weeks ago, but you can hear my version of it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we love really you guys.
Appreciate that, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much for the kind words, and thanks for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. All of the links and all of that for Movie Dumpster will be down in the description of the video or in the show notes on the audio versions. As for us, you can find us on all the social media apps. Well, except for Instagram and Threads, because hackers suck. But we're Dissect That Film on Twitter and YouTube and all that, and then on Instagram and Threads we are Dissect That Film Pod. I hate now that I have 2 different names for things. I had everything so organized. And then we're on patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where for $1 you can get early access to episodes and access to polls to help us select movies that we're going to be covering for the end of the month. And sometimes I put up blooper reels and stuff like that. Or you can join us at the $3 tier, where we have a Patreon exclusive show called The Monster Zone, where once a month we spin a wheel, we land on a monster movie, and we talk about it. And as I stated before, this month it is Terror of Mechagodzilla, and it is free for everybody, so you all get to enjoy.
A little taste.
Yes. And if you enjoy that, you can go back, you can drop that $3, you can get access to all of our backlog of all the other Monster Zone episodes. It's hosted by Dan and Angela, so they get to do what I do on this show.
But worse.
I'm not saying nothing. It's fun, okay? For one, I don't have to take notes. I get to be you guys.
Yeah, he takes the notes.
And then last but not least, I'd like to thank our patrons. We have Billy Joseph Jr., Andrew Schoening, Corey Morissette, Daniel Collins, Jason, Dustin from the Flicks and Friends podcast, Dan and Angela, Anna Presley, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Robert Stewart, Rudy5453, the Barron's Hideout podcast, Movie Fanatic, Paul Jansen, Dennis, Charles, Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, and official Joey C. Thank you for everybody who supports us over on Patreon, and thank you to everybody who just supports us, period, because without you, there is no us. And without Movie Dumpster, there is no Dissect That Film.
Aw.
Remember that.
That's not true.
It is. I've said it before. No, you guys are great. Thank you seriously again for being here. It's always an honor to have you guys on, and hopefully we'll get to hang out with each other very, very soon. But if you guys want to listen to other episodes that we've done with the Great Movie Dumpster, we got Anaconda, we have Bloody New Year, we have The Mummy Returns, and now you got Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. So, thanks, guys. And until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. And that is Joe and Sean of Movie Dumpster. And this has been another episode of Dissect That Film. We'll see y'all again next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.